Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the object-oriented concept. So, object-oriented concept is basically an advanced methodology. It's a recent methodology which we normally use when we develop any system or any application. So, during the development, we use this concept. You have already studied the object-oriented concept in C++, right? Like inheritance, data abstraction. So all these features we are going to use in the VB.NET as well. But let's talk about objects and classes again. So it's about the recent methodology. Object-oriented programming is nothing but the approach, right? Of course, this is the approach which we use when we are doing the programming. And when we talk about the object-oriented design, this is nothing but the logical plan. As we discussed in the last lecture, that before implementing your actual system, you need to plan it. You need a blueprint, you need a prototype, right? And that we call the logical plan. So but even when it is on a paper, you need the object oriented concept, right? So this thing we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So here we have the slide of about the object. As you can see that each object has its properties and methods, but we'll discuss it on a whiteboard to understand more clearly. And this is about the class. Like class is the programmatic implementation or a description of an object or a group of or a collection of objects. But let's talk about the object and class in detail. So let's class and object. Okay, so let's discuss this idea, class and objects. So what is basically object? Object is anything which you can touch, right? That we call the object. So anything you can see around you, like a laptop or a mobile, charger, mouse, pen, notebook, water bottle, bag, books, everything we consider as an object. And each object has its own properties and methods each. For example, let's take an example like objects. Let's say human. Let's say we or any, let's say some human, right? Let's take an example of human. So any human, you, me, any human. So each human being has certain properties and methods. Properties like name, then age, then gender. So these are the properties. Properties are something through which we can describe this object, right? And what about the methods? Methods means the action this human can perform or this object can perform. Like this human can walk, yes. The human can eat, yes. Can sleep, yes. So these are the actions. So properties and methods are something through which we describe the objects. So now this is human 1 and then I have human 2, right? I have human 2. This is my second object. So now how can I bifurcate human 1 and human 2? Because both will share the same properties, right? Same properties and same methods. So it might be possible, or it is actually, that this human or this object 1 name is, let's say, Joy. His age is, let's say, 30 and gender is male. This Joy can walk very fast. he eats very slow, and he sleep like anything we can mention. So this is about the values. These are the values, and these are the methods behavior. Methods behavior, right? These are the values, and these are the behaviors. Behavior. So now about the object 2. So its property, let's say name property, let's say Neha, then age, let's say 35, then gender, female, then walk, she walks very slow, she eats very slow, like this. So if you notice that the values are different, values may different, right? Because it might be possible that two objects have same name, same age, same gender, but the based on these properties and methods, we can group these objects in a single class, and we can give the name to this class human being, right? So this is the concept of class and objects, where mainly we need to focus on the properties, methods, and their values. So one class may have multiple objects, right? And all these objects have same properties, same methods, but value will be different. So this is about the class and objects. Now let's understand the same thing in the context of programming. So let's say that okay, let's say here you have one software. This software contains multiple classes. It contains multiple classes. Class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, class 5. And all these class will have their own objects, object 1, object 2, and similarly this class will have object 1, 2, and 3. So all the classes will have their own objects. Each object will have their own properties and methods and the values, right? So we know the concept of object oriented programming system, like inheritance concept, right? Inheritance concept. So it might be possible that class C4 and C5 coming from the C3, right? So this is how we can develop our application. Like we have classes, but still we can create a new class by using certain properties and methods of some particular class. So all this OOPS concept, all the 8 pillars, inheritance, data abstraction, and everything we will use in our VB.NET programming. So this is about the class and objects. The main points you need to remember: class. Okay, class, what happens? Class, objects, properties, methods, and values. So all these terms we are going to use repetitively. So just keep in mind all these terms and the concept. More we will see in the next lecture. And about this slide. So this slide contains the same thing, like as you can see over here, that here we have object, person, right? And it has a properties, name, age, and skin color. Methods like walk, run, and sleep, like that. In VB we will have object, also we call them control, like command button, text box, label. All will have properties like their name, background color, size, and their methods. For example, command button. So we can click on command button, double click also possible. We can hover the mouse over it, right? So we call it method and event. And one more thing, we will learn in OSET subject, that UML diagram. This is just an example that how to draw the UML of the objects. So this is the button, the command button, and when we talk about the properties, we write properties this way, and these are the methods. This is just for the information knowledge. So it's all about the class, object oriented concept. More we will see in the next lecture.